Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Gulfstream Park.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. It's a Friday fun day, and we're in a New York state of mind. You see, I've crammed myself into my old Rangers jersey.
Oh
It actually fits better.
It
does. No, it really
That's
does.
fit better, actually.
well, that's the power of Ozempic.
You look like Ed Jockerman with the pads.
Actually, I'm wearing number 17, my lucky number, which back in the day was worn by Eddie Johnstone, who was a little scrappy guy,
Yeah.
just like me when I used to play some street hockey and ice hockey in New York. And but
You know what? You actually have a resemblance to Marcel Dion, the great hockey player.
oh wow,
If you were playing hockey, height and body type, a little bit like Marcel
I'll take
Dion.
that as a compliment because I think
Maybe-
he was a handsome.
He was a
Maybe
lady.
Marcel-
Oh, he was a great guy.
I think he was a
too.
lady.
Yeah.
Maybe
Great
Marcel
player.
Marceau, but
Marcel.
No, he was a dynamic player. He was one of those players. I don't think he ever won a
He
championship.
was
that
not wrong.
totally
Look at that.
overlooked.
Tell
yeah.
me that doesn't.
No,
that
he
that
bears
right
the
there looks
resemblance.
a lot like me.
I'm good at this
He
stuff.
does look
Yeah.
like me. I can't lie.
There we go.
That's actually pretty
well,
spot on.
The reason why I'm wearing my Rangers jersey, I mean, I know we have Panthers fever, Stanley Cup fever.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
all set. The table is set for a
It
rematch. Edmonton took care of business last night. But I'm wearing this out of shame. It's my Ranger jersey of shame because as a New Yorker, basically, I've been wrong about everything this week. So I felt like I've lost a bet because I've said on the air that the Knicks, after blowing game one in historic fashion at home, would
not
never win
another-
another game, right?
Another game. Yeah.
So I know Joe Beja is going to rub that in my face later here at 10 Palms at
I was
Gulfstream.
going to say something, but
I expect him to wear his Knicks jersey today. He might even be in the full Spike Lee regalia. But the Knicks took care of business last night to force a game 6. And I also was wrong because when the Panthers went down 2-0 in Raleigh on whatever it was.
you said it was over.
I said it was
Even
over. They
Devo
looked
didn't say
terrible.
that.
Even you didn't say that.
I was quiet. I was frustrated, but I learned from
You
this
you
team.
were you.
I was very frustrated. No, I was frustrated, but I learned to just shut up and just let them play.
To borrow a Defo phrase, I gave them 0.0 chance of coming back that night. They looked dead. And then lo and behold, 30 seconds,
3
that
goals.
changed the world. It was 2 goals in 30 seconds where Kachuk had a prominent hand in both of them.
Yep.
And then a few minutes later, which goal was a few minutes later? Lindell or something like that.
Yes.
And then Barkov puts the icing on the cake with the game winner, which is
It
just
was
such a
tremendous
strong
play.
move.
That was a great play.
That was unbelievable. Defo, are you jacked about this rematch, and do you give the Oilers a chance?
Oh, I definitely give him a chance. I watched this game last night. Everybody's going to be zeroing in on Connor McDavid, and for good reason. The guy is great. He scored a goal in last night's game. It actually was the difference maker in the game. It became 3-2. Edmonton spurted to a quick 3-0 lead. Peter DeBoer, the former Panthers coach, also coached New Jersey and San Jose. I think he might have even coached Vegas. But now in Dallas, did a great job there. Yanks Ottinger, who's considered maybe, up there with Bobrovsky, it would be debatable who you'd rather have in the pipes. He yanks him after 2 shots where he gave up 2 goals.
Oh, jeez.
In a possible series clinching game, you're taking your star goalie out. He did that. It didn't necessarily, provide the motivation that he might have been looking for, but they came back. They were in there with a chance, and then McDavid scores a goal that is so sensational. Might be the best goal I've seen so far in the postseason.
Really? Even better than the
it's hard to say because there's been a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to this rematch. I really am.
I am too. I love the Panthers. They're playing like a team of destiny.
Okay. I mean, what's not to love? Because they are obviously a very talented team.
Professor hit it on the head this morning, though. I mean, think about where this franchise has been at 20-some-odd years. I mean, just dog meat, a laughing stock, a non-entity. And as is true in all relationships, once indifference sets in with fans, and it's pretty easy to find that here in South Florida, you're pretty much dead in the water. So to make this kind of run, amazingly, I mean, Tony, you've been covering sports here for 100 years like me. Mike Mayo was involved in it. Lubie's been doing it for a long, long time. I don't know that we've seen anything, close to this. I mean, we had 4 straight Heat championship runs with LeBron and 3 straight Super Bowl runs with Shula, but that was 50 years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
I mean, and this is not an easy thing to do, to go to 3 straight Stanley Cup
No,
finals.
I mean, the Heat went to 4 straight and they ended up winning 2 of them.
Yes.
And that's mainly thanks to Ray Allen. But the
it's thanks to Lubie, because when he left the building,
That's literally what happened. The season was about
an
to end.
impossible, inconceivable comeback was all of a sudden in play. Yeah,
Look,
they
literally
did it,
the
yeah.
minute.
and look, I've been kind of struggling with an internal debate now because look, the Panthers have made it back to the Cup Finals 3rd year in a row. Very impressive feat. And in my mind, it's like we're already playing with house money. We got our little celebration last year, actually big celebration, and the cup was paraded around town, taking a bath in the
It hit
Atlantic.
2 of our sponsors.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I know, Seville.
Seville.
And Reno, of course,
Reno,
I consider him part of the
An
program.
offshoot
Yeah,
sponsor,
yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like every time the cup showed up at a restaurant, nobody notified me. I started to get a little complex. But I'm wondering now, like, they've assured themselves they're going to be playing in the final game of the season, win, lose, or draw. When they can't be a draw, it's going to be a win or a loss. So, like, that's good enough for me as a fan now. Maybe I'm not
don't
greedy.
be like
No.
No, and then I'm thinking, should I keep the beard?
Yes.
Yes.
Should I shave
Yeah,
the
you have
beard?
to keep the
My
beard.
daughter hates the beard. Val loves the beard. I'm indifferent. But you notice
Which way do you
here,
go on that one, though? That's
what
a
do you
good-
have
that's a good
here,
debate.
Lubie? Mike Lubie.
Well, because I've been
is
clear
crotch
that
beard.
I don't like the beard either. Well, I'm just
He-
responding to people.
I don't mind the beard. They just trim it.
I don't like the beard.
He-
But
No, I say leave it.
Defoe,
You can't mess
Can't
with
even
it.
Defoe's-
touch it.
Defoe's changed my mind because
There are superstitions that you have to.
if you're going to
abide
do it, you
by.
do it. If you're going to do it, you do it. Yeah.
If Wade Boggs had a shrimp cocktail at St. Elmo's before he played a game in Indiana, he would have gone 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts.
Right,
Because he
have
ate chicken before
chicken,
every
game.
game.
Yes, he
yeah,
did.
You got to
Chicken
do
man.
that.
And
What-
so Lubie brings his Norelco shaver because I had a body trimmer that for some reason doesn't work anymore.
No,
probably
the
'cause
Ozempic is working.
The Ozempic is
That's a
working.
body trimmer.
But he brought this. He said, just trim it. And it
No,
has this,
don't mess
It
with
has this
Yeah.
attachment where you kind of push it. Again, I'm not very familiar with these electric razors.
No one
I
uses
do straight
those.
edge.
Who even has one?
My
I
dad
use it.
used to.
It's just the blades get dull.
It has
so
Ron
that's my problem.
Popeil's picture. on it.
I have an electric razor.
Do you still have
You
any
do,
payments
man. You look
left?
good. Shave
No,
good.
no, that's-
The,
You know
the
what?
razor was $19.99, but the shipping and handling was,
They're like
was for
80.
perpetuity. You got to send $2 a month. And
$25.
he was gonna. I told him it would be make for good podcasting if he gave
Not
me
into
a
the
trim,
salad, though.
not into
No,
the salad
no,
or the
no,
shrimp.
no,
But
no.
and then Defo makes the appropriate point: is you don't touch it.
No, you
You
can't.
got to
touch
let it go all the way until the last
We've
game.
gone this
Whoever's
far.
giving you crap about this is in the wrong. I mean, look, if you were going to do it, it's starting to really kind of take on some
becoming a
character.
beard. Yeah, it's becoming a beard.
And a beard
yeah.
is a character thing. It's
Yes.
not. It's not like there's a certain standard you have to abide by. So I mean, look, can you grow a Raleigh Fingers mustache? No, but this is your beard, and it's what makes you unique.
It's growth. I don't know if it's a
It's-
fungus or if it's, but
It
it's-
is.
I'm getting used to it. It's not as itchy, like anything else. You adjust.
I was thinking about the beard today, and it's so hot today.
It was, and I was walking on the beach with my daughter, and my goddaughter is visiting from Ohio. She just graduated Ohio State. 3 of us took a nice walk of life. It was almost 4 miles, about 3.6,
It was hot out there today,
and it was hot.
It was
hot.
hot. It was
And-
really
and there was a little threat of rain where I was, but it kind of made
Yes,
it even more
yeah,
schwitzy.
yes.
We got through it. We're definitely in the heat of the summer, even though the calendar isn't officially summertime yet.
Yeah,
it
no, it's-
certainly
it's
feels like
summer.
it. But I feel like I've done my deed for the day, and no, I kept it on. I'm gonna keep it, and we're
Are
not
you
gonna
going to
trip
shave
it.
it now?
And somebody asked me, I think it was Ron Nicoletti down in the press office today. He goes, "Well, if the Panthers win,
Oh, I
you
thought he
just
was
keep
going to say where you're going with all those forms. How many people do you have up there?
He already knows the answer to that. But no, he said if the Panthers win, you got to keep it all season until next season.
year.
Oh,
And I was
no,
like,
I don't think so.
No,
okay.
no.
That's not really part of that
No,
tradition.
no,
I don't think.
Tradition
it's a
is-
different thing. You do something different if you want.
Once it's over, then everybody can shave. But and I guess the last possible date I saw the schedule. June 20th is the
Oh,
last
geez.
Wow.
possible date. It's going to be
June
Game 7.
20th.
The schedule is set. The NHL is smart. They zig it where the NBA zags.
Zags.
So
yes, they do.
each sport has its own championship time slots carved out. Panthers will begin next Wednesday night, June 4th.
Is that at
Edmonton.
home or are they going
No.
to Edmonton?
Because Edmonton had a better regular season
Oh, did
record.
they?
They
All right.
had, I think, 101 points, and the Panthers finished with 98
98.
points.
Yeah.
Look at this research I did before
Yeah,
this.
I did the other day.
Well, it's important, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's a big,
It's a big deal.
big trip. Yeah.
Well, in hockey, though, we learned that having a Game 7 at home doesn't necessarily mean success. Toronto learned that.
Yeah.
However,
But it was
last
good
year,
for the Cats last year. After being abysmal for 3 straight games, they seemed to, especially, look, as much as I thought it was weird, we were guessing who they should have. The way Roberto Luongo rang the freaking bell, I think set a tone that team needed desperately, and you weren't getting that on the road.
right. And do you think it was really Reno, a friend at Heritage, that
They gassed him up? Oh, for sure.
fed
For sure. Luong, we
his
all know
brother-in-law,
Luongo's a very even-tempered dude. That had to
Roberto.
be Reno
Yeah.
pissing him off beforehand.
I don't know what he sprinkled in that
Boy, I'll tell you.
the
Shouldn't Tony
bolognese.
be accorded the honor of beating
One
the
of these
drum?
times, yes, for sure.
I think
How could
so,
they not have Tony Segreto out there?
because Tony's going to be gone by the time that
Well, he would come back,
He'll
I
stay
would
in
think, to
Vermont.
do this.
Tony's going up to his son is getting married, and there's an engagement party
Party.
up in Atlanta, and then
But
he's going
imagine
up to.
Tony with a big mallet.
He's going to grow a beard in Vermont. He's going to be like Merlin Olsen, chopping down trees,
Yes, I am.
or something like that.
Yes,
But
I am.
again, schedule games 1 and 2 next Wednesday the 4th, Friday the 6th in Edmonton, Alberta.
Will you be going out there?
No, I will not. I will be going out on a vacation.
You've been to
the following
Edmonton,
week.
though.
So
He
that's
has
the weird part. And I've never been to Edmonton. I've been to Winnipeg. Me and Dave Joseph were the co-beat writers for the Panthers' inaugural season in 1993-94, and we divvied up the road schedule. I drew the short straw and got Winnipeg, and he got to do the West Coast Canadian trip. So he got to Edmonton and Calgary, and what's the other one? Vancouver.
Vancouver.
Yeah. So he did those
People
three.
like Vancouver.
Vancouver's a beautiful
Yeah.
city.
Vancouver's real deal, yeah.
It is fabulous.
Edmonton is an oil town. Calgary is a cowboy country. They have
Yeah.
rodeos and stuff there. And Winnipeg is a great place if you're an icicle or a stalactite.
None of it appeals to me.
minus 43 degrees.
Yeah.
And it was when the Celsius and the Fahrenheit align, both of them are minus 43 at the same point. It is so freaking
bad.
cold.
Isn't that where
That's-
the people lock the doors and keep the cars running?
Yes, I was telling
for
that
sure.
story
Winnipeg, yeah,
because
yeah.
they handed me that heating coil for the battery, and I thought it was like a hair, something to curl my hair. And they're like, "No, you got to put that on your battery, otherwise it's going to explode." I was like, "Is that
Connection.
right?" Yeah,
Connection.
yeah.
Oh.
No, Winnipeg is kind of like Minnesota squared. Meanwhile, I do owe the people of Edmonton and Alberta an apology because the other day I was ragging on them for their food scene, and I said, "Oh, what do they have up there? Moose blubber, and they chug it with a shot of crude oil on the side." Well, it turns out I was completely wrong, thanks to our man Jim Sarney. He sent me something about a relatively new upscale restaurant called Bernadette's, and it's specializing in what's known as Canadian cuisine, and it's not just poutine, that's Quebec food.
Yes.
This is kind of indigenous
Which
Canadian food.
was pretty lame, if you really
What's that?
want to be honest about it.
What's
The poutine or whatever.
Oh,
that was.
poutine. Yeah,
It's
I like it, but it's not great.
They had that at the place by the Panthers practice facility. Is that called the Federal?
Yeah, the federal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And a nice place. Nothing against them. They offered it. But I'm thinking if this is what they get excited about in Canada,
well, you
So,
gotta
wait-
remember it's Canada.
Wait till you hear this. All right, so this
they might have
place,
something.
this place Bernadette's. It's like I think it's a man and I don't know if it's husband and wife, but it's a couple that's running this restaurant Bernadette's. It got
Is there a downtown in Edmonton?
I think there is, but Bernadette's got written up in the Globe and Mail, which I think is Canada's only newspaper, as you recommended. Globe and Mail
Marty
is out of
Kuchenberg.
Toronto,
Still
but
there.
they're a national newspaper, and they wrote up this Bernadette's. Now, I looked at the menu. I owe a big apology because I was ranking on them for having moose blubber and crude oil. And actually on the menu at Bernadette's, and I kid you not, is raw elk and Spam pops. So
Is that better? Are we giving?
of
him
course
compliments
not.
on-
I'm making a joke. It's like this is
That's
what
not better.
this is what passes as upscale Canadian cuisine.
Raw elk. What is that? Elk tartare?
Elk tartare would be another way for it.
No.
What would your
Have you ever
what would you
tasted
review?
elk?
I mean, if you were going to review this, you don't even need to. Just imagine you just ate some raw elk. I mean, what would the Mayo?
Well,
What
you
would
know,
the Mayo lead be if you were writing again to the Sun Sentinel? Bernadette's.
Let's see.
Mayo.
Bernadette's raw elk. After eating raw elk, I now know why people migrated south to the United States.
How's eating raw elk?
I don't know, but
That's on the menu. At
have
what
you-
price? Is that market
seriously,
But
price?
have you tried it?
I haven't tried
No, he
it.
hasn't tried it.
And again, it's
It's
not
probably
fair
good.
of me. Okay, so let me look at this. This menu, raw elk is on it with fried capers, arugula, Burger Beast's
There you
favorite,
go.
shallots, and berries, and
Berries.
it's $32.
Oh, jeez.
And if you add on the bannock pieces, it's an extra $3. Now, what is bannock?
hell's
You
bannock?
might say.
Yes. What is
Bannock? Well, we looked this up the other night because I saw on their menu there's a lot of bannock dishes. There's bone marrows with
So
maple
it's like
and apple.
walleye with Minnesota.
No, it's actually like a flatbread. Like it's
Oh,
an
like a
Inuit
bread.
kind of indigenous Canadian flatbread.
Okay.
And apparently,
Sounds horrible.
well,
Really
no,
does sound
not
if
as-
anybody ever complains on Let's Eat South Florida about the lack of offerings here
exactly.
in South Florida, send them to Bernadette.
Go to
All right.
Edmonton.
that might sound horrible, but how about this? Spam stuffed olives.
There you go.
The
Spam stuff.
spam. They have spam pops with panko, lemon, and parsley. It
Oh
sounds
my
like a
God.
Monty Python sketch. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
spam,
Sounds like they're
spam,
trying.
Are they
spam,
selling
spam,
microwaves in the place also? I mean, what the
And
hell?
then-
God.
And then when you think that might be not so, spam and dumplings with fried sage too.
Fried sage.
And then they have something which I've never heard of, which is fried ocheshishak.
What is that?
I don't know.
Did you
I
look
think
it up?
I didn't even look that one up. I was afraid. I think
What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of the raw elk.
That's impressive.
But this place apparently, like foodies are going crazy for it. It has a 4.8 cumulative rating on Open Table.
My God.
It's got written up by the Globe and Mail, the national paper of
Michelin
record.
star.
They'll probably get a Michelin star. I don't know if Michelin has made its way to Edmonton yet.
They get one.
okay, so you showed the picture and I'm seeing it here, but what are they saying Ochechishak is?
I don't know. Doesn't Google's AI give us an answer? It's
It looks nice, but like I still don't know why. It's always
You have to ask Google
These
what is
pictures.
Ocheshishuk. I thought it was like Eddie. What's his name? The
Eddie
on-
Olczyk.
Yeah,
Olczyk,
Olczyk.
Eddie
I
O.
thought it may be a dish.
But
that-
if you have to Google the crap that you're eating, it just comes on the side. I mean, come on, Mike.
There's also bison cheek braised in red
that's
wine.
probably good.
That's
With,
probably
which
good.
actually
bison
sounds
is good.
decent to me.
Yeah, I mean that's good. Bison.
Bison is very nice, and if it's braised and actually cooked as opposed to the elk tartare, I had antelope tartare once up at this kind of hoity-toity restaurant in Tallahassee. I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting it, and let me tell you, I would not recommend the raw antelope
They're
because
saying it means rice.
rice. It's a dish of rice.
So a dish of rice, often incorporating other ingredients and flavors. But that's not what's being shown whenever you see.
So it is.
Oh, it's like a rice ball, maybe. Maybe that's what that is. Because that looks like a rice ball.
And it's an indigenous dish, like the Canadian indigenous tribes and peoples. I guess it's a staple along
Yeah,
with
so it's like a rice ball. That's what that is.
along,
It looks good. Just a
along
weird
with
ass
the
name.
bannock, which is the flatbread. See how educational it is here.
Yeah.
I go along mocking
You tuned
the
in
fine
today.
people of
You
Edmonton.
tuned in today, and you didn't realize you were going to get a menu of cuisine
Yeah, of
from
something
Edmonton
something
by
completely
Mike
different.
Mayo.
Yeah, something different. I did not know. And again, just a year old, Bernadette's. It's a fine dining restaurant in Edmonton from chef and co-owner Scott Isseroff and his business partner Svetlana Kravchuk, who's from Ukraine apparently. So she incorporates some Ukrainian elements, and I think she must be Muslim because a lot of things on the menu it says are halal. So this is a bizarre mashup of cultures, and
You can bet a lot of the media is going to go there.
I bet you not.
No,
I bet you that not.
I bet they try it.
Brian was like, I'd take Royal Oak over Skyline.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know.
fighting
I'm
words.
not gonna lie, I
to
don't
me.
know. We make fun of Skyline, but I've actually eaten it and kept it down. I don't know how raw
Yeah,
elk.
raw elk sounds a little. Look, I'm an adventurous eater, but the thing is, Sarni, sometimes he's completely insane, but sometimes he comes up with good ideas. I'm going to try to get these two chefs to come on the show next
Oh
week
yeah. Oh no, that's
next
not the worst
Monday,
thing.
and
go to
defend
Edmonton.
the fine cuisine of Edmonton, Alberta.
Yeah.
And because look, really, what do we have down here? Yes, we say we have stone crabs and key lime pie, but most places are just Italian food,
and steakhouse.
just like New York pizzas, which we don't have. I don't even know. And steakhouses and Skyline Chili. We
So
have,
maybe they would be grossed out by that. I
Oh.
find that hard to believe.
if they have any common sense, they might be. You know what? Let's take our first break, and it has been fun and educational, and we've learned about.
I've learned so much.
That makes one of us.
Haven't you, Defo? Have you learned
I
a
learned
lot?
that they have.
It's always great.
I learned that they have the weird food we thought they had. That's what I
Bernadette's.
learned. I'm not trying to be mean.
You got to go to Japan.
Next time you're in downtown
I've heard Japan's food's
Edmonton, go right to Bernadette's.
There you
and
go.
demand the raw elk and the on bannock, the flatbread. All right. Joe Beja hopefully is going to be
Yeah, he'll be
here
with us. I
in
saw
his
him.
full Knicks regalia, or he'll be in a good mood today at least.
Yeah, that was a big win.
We'll talk more about. It's going to be a New York state of mind the next few days because we got the Knicks
And
alive, trying to extend to a
The
game
Belmont
7.
this weekend?
No, Belmont is next
Next
weekend. So
weekend.
what
Okay.
happens is Belmont itself is being still
Yeah, that's at
refurbished.
Toga, right?
So it's up in Saratoga, and they're having like a 4 or 5 day racing festival, I think Wednesday through Sunday,
Oh, nice.
with the Belmont Stakes and like 8 other stakes races on next Saturday, June 7th. So, and it looks like it's shaping up to be a great race.
my wife and I are going to go to Saratoga this year.
Nice.
I might be going at some point. And I saw Joey Esposito, our man at Cafe Seville last night, him and Sally. They're going up in August, not for Travers Week, but they're going up with a crew. I'd love to get up there. I think I will at some point. Defo, you haven't been there in a while, or
A long time, yeah. No,
yeah.
I've only been there once. Yeah, I would love to join those guys for that. I
maybe
think
we
they're
should.
going middle of August.
Let's
sometime.
do. Let's take the lunchbox on the road in the dog days.
There you
in
go.
August.
I mean, it'd be fun to explore what's going on up there from a food scene standpoint.
Ciro's is still there, and there's a lot of other places.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, come on. We'll get the Lubie on the road in his final few months of freedom before he's changing diapers and sleep deprived. If Lubie's like this now, can you imagine
Oh, it's
him
gonna
after
be a
sleep
disaster.
deprivation?
Oh my God, no.
Well, I don't really get a lot of sleep, but having to have another person yell at me in my home when I already have my cat, my dog, and my wife, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I already have 3 demanding presences. It'll be a 4th. That's
Oh my God.
All right. Before we take the first break, I'm going to talk about Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. If you're going to be throwing any kind of gatherings as we head into the summertime, barbecue season is here, along with Father's Day in a few weeks. And if you want to kind of just chill and grill at home, then Delaware is your headquarters for everything that you could want for the home cooking scene and the grill. They've got obviously the finest in fish and seafood. They also have their house-made sausages, which we love. They have some of their Wagyu beef hot dogs. Also, they have steaks. They have pork. They have everything you could want. We love Delaware Chicken and Seafood Market. They've been in business for over 60 years, 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. They now have home delivery. If you go onto their website, delawarechicken.com, and just hit the prepared foods tab, and you can order a whole bunch of stuff that they will deliver right to your door, including some of their great roasted chicken and their dips and things like
Their
that.
dips are outstanding.
We love them there. Gene and Jose are doing a great job maintaining the tradition that has been a long-standing favorite amongst the food lovers in South Florida. They do have some of the game meats in the frozen food sections. They do have
the professor
bison.
actually is a big fan of it. So
Yeah, and I don't know if they have any elk that you could defrost.
I heard
And just,
Why don't we ask him to try and get it in?
I'm
Next time
sure
we
if
go,
you
I'll
ask them, they will get anything you want in there, including big live Maine lobsters. Go again online, DelawareChicken.com, get all the details. They're open 7 days a week. And tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we'll be back with more from Gulfstream, 10 Palms in Hallandale after these words. The finest quality, warm hospitality, and world-class creativity. Those are the ingredients that make Daniel's, a Florida steakhouse, a special place. Come experience the restaurant that's Michelin Guide recommended and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved, with an impressive collection of steaks, seafood, and more, like their foie gras creme brulee. Daniel's is located at 620 South Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, just south of the New River Tunnel, open Tuesday through Sunday for dinner. For reservations and information, go to danielssteak.com. Hey, it's Mayo here for Prezzo Italian Restaurants. 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to eatprezzo.com. A tradition for South Florida sports fans for more than 30 years, Shenanigans. It's at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach, the place to go for all your favorite teams and events and food that's not your ordinary sports bar fare. Award-winning wings, burgers, fresh fish, and more, TV screens galore, and all-day happy hour specials. The kitchen and bar are open into the wee hours, perfect for late-night bites and very close to the airport. For playoff action, football season, and a Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, upscale food in a down-home setting, the chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. If you want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you. Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. We've got Tony Segreto. We've got Mike Lubie Lubitz off camera,
I'm right here.
hotchkeying with the mixing board.
Hello.
We've got Jeff Defo DeForest. He's wandering aimlessly like a 74-year-old is wont to do. Actually, he's not 74 yet. I don't want to
Don't
round up
Don't
because
When
I
is
know
his birthday?
July 5th.
July 5th.
You know how I know that, Tony?
No.
Oh, he left 7-5.
Because he always boxes the 7-5 exactly because those are his
His
birthday
birthday
numbers.
numbers.
And that is the mark of a true degenerate when you play your birthday numbers. I was born on June 17th, coming up soon. So 617 is my favorite box. And sometimes it comes in. I didn't
Defo-
look at
I
it.
wish I was born on another
Defo
day.
laments his birthday.
Oh, the 7
Couldn't have
7-5.
been like July 2nd or 2/7.
7-5 comes in a lot. I find that it does, but
Sometimes, yeah.
not
but,
enough.
you know, look, for the number of times I've played it, I'm probably well behind. But yeah,
it's
I'm
fun.
everybody
10.
has their numbers.
Yeah, no,
410.
410 is your birthday?
Yeah.
So what do you do? Anytime there's a 10-horse field, you do a 410? Or
Yes.
you do play the ones and the zeros, which is
Yeah, you
nothing?
do.
I got to wait for a 10-horse field.
You like a
Okay,
410.
okay, because you don't do like me sometimes
No,
where you add the numbers, and if it adds up to 10, that counts as
No,
a 10,
no.
not like a
Never
4,
got
3,
the math.
7.
No.
No, that doesn't count. Hey,
You'd be happy if your numbers were 9-11-6 right now.
Yeah.
9/11 is well, kind of
Well,
grim
look at
numbers
these
in
numbers,
American
my man.
history.
Not if they're
But
winning.
Got 9-1, 14-1, 60-1.
Jesus.
Nice.
Comprising your trifecta.
Michael Yates. All right. Yeah, there is live racing here. And again,
There
every
is.
day that there's live racing, 10 Palms is open for your
Yep.
entertainment and dining pleasure. Joe Beja, I imagine, will be coming down soon. But let's do a contest.
Let's go.
Speaking of 10 Palms at Gulfstream, this is the site of their fabulous Sunday brunch. They also have weekend Saturday buffets too, but Sunday buffet, it is world famous. And thanks to a great partnership here between the Lunchbox and Gulfstream Park that somehow miraculously has continued more than 2 years.
Jeez.
And we give away every week a brunch package for two for Sunday brunch, all inclusive, great buffet. I love coming out here. I love
Brunch last week was off the charts.
well, that was the special taste of the track,
Yeah,
which
those
is
are
a
fantastic.
different kettle of fish. We're going to be talking with Joe about that and the next
Nice.
one coming up.
Nice.
But the Sunday brunches, they have carving stations, they have omelet stations, they have dessert. Their desserts, no matter whether it's upstairs at the Taste of the Track
are
event
insane.
or on their usual weekend buffets.
It's worth coming just for the desserts.
Well, what's interesting is because they do desserts and they also do baked goods that could be desserts, and the baked goods are wonderful. The croissants are really well done.
Yeah, they have some of those like stuffed, not pastelitos, but the like the ham and cheese
it's
bread.
like really good.
That's what do you call the ham and cheese bread?
I don't know.
Ham and cheese
like
bread.
taqueño kind of a thing.
It's-
They're really good.
Yeah, it's kind of
The
a
Italian-
South American.
The Italians call it pizzichini.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice.
There
Nice
you go.
accent
Nice.
there.
We love that.
All right. Well, it's time for the giveaway.
Let's
and
do it.
all you got to do is email the answer to this week's restaurant trivia questions along with your horse selection for this week's Gulfstream Saturday contest race, which is race number 11. It's the $75,000 Powder Break Stakes for fillies and mares, scheduled for a mile on the turf. If it's taken off the turf, it runs on the all-weather track. If your horse scratches, you get the post-time favorite. And it's an 11-horse field slated to run tomorrow in the 11th race. So number between 1 and 11 in the 11th race, the answer to the restaurant, and guess what we got?
What?
Still alive for the
It would
tiebreaker.
be the Knicks and Pacers
Knicks
Saturday.
Pacers Game 6 in Indiana Saturday night on TNT. It's going to be one of their final broadcasts.
Yeah.
The TNT crew getting very weepy.
Yeah.
One of the last.
And NBC's crew is getting very happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I miss the
but
basketball
Ernie
news.
Johnson and that whole crew, they are not going to be doing basketball anymore.
No, I think they're moving to ESPN,
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
which is interesting. So are they blowing out? I mean, the group they have now is not great, but are they blowing it out? Like that would be funny.
I don't know. I like Stan Van Gundy on.
I like him as a broadcaster.
Me
analyst.
too.
Yes,
He's
well, we
very
all
good.
like Van. And people work
And
with him
of
for
course, Ian Eagle is sidelined during the finals, but he's their number two.
Two.
He was their number two. He should be their number one because every time
Harlan.
Kevin Harlan speaks, I
Oh.
reach for the remote. I turn down the volume, and it's already at 3.
years. Exactly. I was gonna say
It's
probably
like I
low.
go
And
to
he's
1,
screaming.
and
He's
still hear him
screaming.
screaming. And it's fine if it's like the Game 7 of the NBA Finals to turn up the volume a little bit, but when it's the first quarter of Game 1, all right.
But that will be the tiebreaker.
Yes, the tiebreaker. You give me the winning team and the margin. Let's say Pacers by 22 points. That's what my pick is going to be in Game 6. But and then you send it all to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow, May 31st. Okay.
Wow, okay.
And for this week's restaurant, you know what Sunday is, Tony Segreto? June 1st.
Yes.
What is June 1st
What's
on
June
your
1st?
news anchor calendar?
Oh, Hurricane.
Hurricane season.
There you go. It is the official start of the Atlantic Basin hurricane season.
And they're warning it already.
Well, I
As
mean, it's hot
usual,
hell as heck
the
now. I can't even imagine the
researchers
hell
funded by the insurance industry are warning that it's going to be a way above average season with the potential for mass death and destruction because that's the only way the insurance companies
Yes.
want it to jack up the rates in advance.
pretty much.
There goes my shot at any insurance
Yeah.
sponsorship.
Winnings this year. Yeah, go on.
All right, so we mark the start of hurricane season, which is starting Sunday, going through December 1st. Be ready, stay safe.
Oh, it's all the way through December now?
Well, yeah, it
It needs to
always
be October.
no, it always it went through November 30th. I said
Oh,
December
okay. I
1st,
always thought it was
but
like
yeah,
October.
it's yeah, technically it's yeah.
December 30th.
All right, here we go. And this is really a lame kind of thing. It makes no sense, but I did it anyway. It's never
Okay.
stopped me before, right?
Okay.
So, this Delray Beach restaurant is named for a place that shoulders its share of blizzards and winter storms, not hurricanes. But many locals are blown away by its deep dish and thin crust offerings, along with hot beef sandwiches and Vienna hot dogs.
Okay.
Delray Beach Restaurant.
Okay.
That again, named for a place that blah 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 has deep dish pizza.
Okay.
The family-run eatery, located on Atlantic Avenue, has been in business for 25 years, meaning it's been around for Hurricane Wilma and the Cubs' last World Series win. You remember what year that was? The last Cubs win, World Series.
Was it
Defo?
6 years ago?
Just a few years ago.
Yeah,
6 years.
2016.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
so
wow, 39 years ago.
so it's been around for Hurricane Wilma and the Cubs' last World Series win, but it wasn't around for Hurricane Andrew or the Bears' lone Super Bowl victory. What year was Hurricane Andrew, Tony Segredo?
83.
No.
No.
Was it 93 or 92?
93.
92.
92.
Two.
You
Oh
were
my
there that night.
What do you mean? He was
Guiding
like,
us.
him and Norcross were like the
God. I want to forget it.
August 25th, 1992, a date that will live in infamy, that Tony and Brian Norcross, after other people went fleeing into the night,
Yep.
We stayed on the
He
air.
stayed on
I
the
mean, I
air.
remember listening on the radio. Like that's my mom and I listened all night to Tony and Ryan Norcross.
So, and then the Bears' last Super Bowl, actually lone Super Bowl victory. You know this one.
They shuffle.
Yeah. What season was that?
That's 85. Obviously.
85.
And their
in
one
January of
their lone
86.
loss is to Mr. Dan Marino and the Miami Dolphins.
There you go. That was a near perfect season. All right. And one last item about this restaurant. Defo really liked the meatballs that they had at the tennis, the Delray
They were excellent.
meatball tennis ball competition that
Yeah.
they were in. So does anybody know the restaurant and
I
understand
presume
why
Defo
I
knows.
used it
I
this
don't
week?
know.
Makes sense.
It makes a little sense.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it's kind of a Chicago place,
Okay.
and Chicago never has hurricanes.
Yeah.
In fact, Val says that's where she's getting on a plane too. If the big one is coming
It's a
here,
good place. It's pretty
she's going
safe.
right to Chicago. And I was like, why Chicago? Goes, it's a good city, and they've never had a hurricane. So
Yeah.
it's like that makes
The
sense.
winters suck there, but the rest of the other is probably beautiful.
It is. It's a nice place. It's a good town. They're very friendly people.
Yes,
Great
They
they
do.
town,
And they have
too.
great food.
Yeah. I don't know about Alinea though, but all right, there you have it. Send all the number 1 through 11, the Pacers Knicks result with the winning margin, point margin, and the restaurant to Mike Mayo Eats at gmail.com by noon tomorrow, Saturday, May 31st. I can't believe it's already,
It's already
almost
friggin'
June.
June. Like that's nuts.
Yes, and I am exhausted after that. What do you say we take our second
Let's go.
break? And before we do, I would suggest this weekend, if you haven't been there in a while, Tropical Acres Steakhouse. I was there this past week. Happy hour on the bar from Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. with those great half-price martinis. My goddaughter, who is 23 and legal to drink, we really enjoyed her Belvedere martini.
Nice.
It's
And-
a great. It's old school
Right.
Yeah.
with new
Twists.
twists.
Yes. And they're always upgrading and adding things to the menu. They got the butternut squash ravioli.
Yeah, that was
They
great.
have the surf and turf marsala, the pasta with the tenderloin and shrimp. And of course, this time of year, they have the $39 twin lobster special.
And they
I
do
got
that on
one of
Fridays
those.
too, right?
Do it on Fridays,
Okay.
just not on Saturdays.
Saturday.
Closed on Sundays, although they will be open for Father's Day, Sunday, June 15th. Make your reservation now, 954-989-2500. Again, Tropical Acres. We're going to be in there next Wednesday,
Oh, nice.
sitting down with Jack Studiali and
What a
crew.
good man.
They love having us in a couple times a year, and we love going there because what's not to love?
Especially this time of the year when they have the lobster special.
Lobster special and that prime rib, you can't beat it. All the fresh cut steaks, the selection there, you can't beat it. And don't forget half price wine night Monday and Tuesday.
Yep.
And the loyalty reward card, which I got punched. I almost got a full one again. I'm very excited. For every 12 entrees that you purchase, you get the 13th one on the house, up to a $35 value. We love
Nice.
Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. And we'll be back with more on the Lunchbox after these words. For the finest poultry and the freshest fish, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, You know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima. For reservations and information, go to tavernakima.com. When I get a craving for real Southern barbecue, Fat Boys Barbecue is the place that I call home. Cooked low and slow with proper smoke and dry rub goodness, Fat Boys has some of the best ribs, brisket, burnt ends, pulled pork, and chicken around. 5 delectable sauces and the tastiest collard greens, candied yams, and cornbread this side of heaven. 4 locations, including Deerfield, Coral Springs, Cypress Creek Road, and their newest location in downtown Fort Lauderdale, 706 South Federal Highway. Open 7 days with great lunch specials, online ordering, delivery, catering, and food trucks for your next event. To order, go to fatboysbarbecue.com today. That's Fatboys. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk and Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sampler that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox, and look who's joining us.
There he is.
He's not dressed up in all the regalia, but he's got the
I
hat.
thought I was going to see the jersey today, which is why I broke out my counterpart Rangers jersey.
He's a working man.
So
He's a working
I
man.
broke out the neon orange, Spike Lee orange and blue skies T-shirt.
Yes.
I was going to wear it with this, and my daughter looked at me and she goes,
Said
"You're
no.
not wearing that to work today." There's no way. You're not going to wear that to work today.
Daughters have a way of
So I wore orange
transforming us.
and kept the hat.
No, do what I did, Joe. Just totally ignore your daughter. Do what
You
feels
can't.
right.
You
But
can't ignore your daughter.
You've got the Knicks cap on.
I'm in a
I
great
knew
mood today.
you were in a good mood, and I was
Yeah.
dead wrong about after the game one choke, or however you want to
It
describe
was
it.
a bad choke. Yes.
I thought they were going to not win another game in the series. I thought they were just going to roll over, and I thought Indiana was a better team. Look, Indiana still might close out things tomorrow night at home. However, there is now hope alive for the Knicks.
Yes.
So I was wrong, and I kind of feel like I lost a bet, even though I didn't formally make a bet. So that is why I am donning my old, as you can see, I've stuffed myself
That's
in like
real
a
old.
sausage in a casing.
Yeah.
My
I-
Rangers jersey.
I just can't imagine what a game 7 would be.
at the
Oh,
Garden.
at the Garden?
That-
God.
that- at the
Insane.
Garden it would
One
be.
game at a
Look at the
time.
Pacers,
Tony
you don't want
Segura.
that now.
I'm just saying, I can't imagine.
I can imagine it'll be freaking insane.
Are you encouraged, Joe Beja? Do you think they have a shot on the road to pull it out and force a game 7 at home?
Do they have a shot?
Yeah,
yes.
they have a shot, yeah.
Absolutely, they have a
How
shot.
big of a shot?
Am I
betting on it?
I'm still
No.
on a little more of a pessimistic side. I hate to
Yeah,
say it, just
okay.
because I haven't seen the Knicks be consistent.
No.
Like if they consistently played like if last night was their adjustment and their solution, and that's how they're going to play going forward, yeah, I'd say
Well,
Knicks in 7.
Yeah.
But I just think the Pacers are going to come back and they're going to try
Yep.
and set the
Call-
tone at their
Call me old-fashioned or just old, but I remember a day when Eastern Conference Finals, when it would both teams would be double
Yeah.
digits, and it was
Yes.
all tenacious defense, and
Yes.
there would be contested three-point
Yes.
shots, and
Yeah.
you got in a guy's face even if he's 30 feet
Yes.
away, instead of just letting him chuck away and come back and all that stuff. So it was encouraging from the Knicks' perspective to see, the Pacers held to double digits, and the Knicks did what they needed to do.
Yeah.
But here we are. It might be a taller task in Indianapolis, so we will find out.
It depends, and it depends. Like you hear all the talking heads today. They say, there's no way that Halliburton's going to have that bad of a game, or Neesmith's going to have that bad of a game, and Siakam, and all three of them together are going to have that bad of a game.
Yeah.
Or is that the result of some good
I
defense?
think it's
Some
a
good-
combination.
I think it's a
You know, I
combination,
mean, look
yeah.
at last night. Brunson was fighting through the screens.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
weren't laying back on the screens. They were in everybody's faces when they were up at the 3-point line. Shamit got some good minutes, which I think we need more of him.
Yep.
And we'll see.
All right, we'll see. This is why they play the games. Meanwhile, let's get to the food talk. Last
I'm
Sunday,
so sad. I
we
missed
had
Sunday.
during the holiday weekend a return of the martinis, paninis,
Paninis
and
and-
linguini,
yeah.
and Tony Segreto, a good old
I love that
paisan
you showed up.
from Patterson, New
Yes.
Jersey, came out for the first time to experience it. And what was your review of the event, Tony
Well,
Segreto?
first of all, the tiramisu was through the roof.
Yeah.
Cannolis were really good.
They were
too.
good too.
All the desserts.
But-
The
but-
desserts are extremely well done.
But the entire presentation, everybody was having fun. The food was outstanding.
and the
I mean,
martinis were flowing in all kinds of
Yes.
varieties. It was great.
I could not believe the amount of vodka that we went through.
Oh, really?
I mean, seriously, when we
can.
like even like tacos and tequila, the bourbon and barbecue. There's always like left.
Right.
We pre-batched the day before, and we pre-batched like maybe at least like 3 gallons of it and so forth.
Oh,
And then
wow.
what we do is we put it back in the bottles, and then we bring it back, and we just keep refilling the bottles.
Yeah.
There was a couple of vodkas where I went back to the representative and went, "You're done. I'm sorry, we're out.
This
You
is-
know, there's 20 minutes to go." And
This
you
is
know,
what happens when Tony
Tony's
Segreto
there.
shows up.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
man
it was
can
good.
drink like a fish. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yes.
No, but to your credit, not only all the food, and Chef Jason was there, and he put a foodie touch on the great carpaccio. Again, great quality beef,
Yeah.
great flavor, but he put the little white anchovies on top, which
Yeah.
I
Ooh,
appreciate.
That's nice.
It's a real kind of
No,
foodie
that's
touch.
nice.
I don't know how it went over with the general public, but screw them. It was great.
It
I
was
loved
it was
and like
awesome.
the porchettas. I mean, that
Porchetto came out
Ooh,
juicy,
came out
tender,
so good.
beautiful.
I forget how many made, like a dozen or 14 of them. They were done by like 3:30. They were
Yeah.
gone.
And the braised short rib was really good with the gnocchi.
The short ribs were
Yeah.
Arancini
outstanding.
was excellent.
Yes.
I mean, basically everything. It's a hit. In my mind, you should just have it every other month because,
Yeah.
like, every other restaurant in town
It's
is an
so
Italian
good,
restaurant.
like-
Every
I mean-
other taste at the track.
I mean, it's funny because we had some mainstays that we always do twice a year, which is tacos and tequila and bourbon and barbecue. And then we do like a taste of Havana or rum Caribbean. We do those like twice a year. And now it's like the martinis and paninis. It's going to have to be twice
It's
a year.
got to be in heavy
Every 6
rotation.
months,
How
it's gotta
many? You sold basically sold out,
About
right?
336.
Yeah.
Oh
so
my God.
336 plus whatever we got at the door. So
That's fantastic.
which is great. That's right where we want to be. We always want to
job
be
well
around
done.
between 325 and 350.
And again, especially in the middle of a holiday weekend, you usually do it on a big race
Yeah.
day on a Saturday. This was on a Sunday.
Yeah.
But they turned out, and Tony
Yeah.
was impressed. I, as always, was impressed. And the vodka, the martini varieties, you had the lychee. What is it?
The lychee.
I never know
lychee.
how to pronounce
It's a
that.
lychee martini.
Yeah.
Lychee, like a leech on me.
Yes,
no,
yes.
lychee martini. That was good. They had some, but the true
The,
standout.
the espresso martini.
There you go,
was-
Tony.
Oh, you
The
like an espresso martini? You
I
rarely
usually
like
am not an
martinis.
espresso martini fan.
It was
Sometimes
that
they're
good?
too
Holy
sweet.
crap.
Me and my poker buddy Dan came, and even he was saying this is one of the better espresso martinis I've
Yeah.
had anywhere. And they were, obviously lining up and just guzzling them down. And they each had the 3 bean, and we were chewing on the beans because Tony said you got to eat these espresso
Yeah, you gotta eat the
beans for
beans.
luck."
Yeah, you gotta eat
Of course,
the
for the
beans.
good luck.
Yeah.
And
But the little plastic disposable martini glasses
Yes.
were
Yeah.
cute. Those little 3
Oh
ounce
my God.
portions. I mean, it was
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
really.
And
Everyone
the,
stepped up.
The
and did a great
girls at the
job.
bar couldn't stop making them.
yeah,
Yeah.
They
and we
were
couldn't
just-
stop drinking them. Hence, 86 on the vodka.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yep.
But job well done. And tell
Thank you.
Chef Jason
Yeah,
really
you guys
knocked
do
it
such a
out.
great job.
The Sunday gravy station in the middle.
Yeah, that was fun.
The
No, it was
Sunday gravy was
very nice.
pretty good.
All
It
good
was-
stuff.
yeah.
So, what do we got coming up now? We're in a New York state of mind. We got the Knicks going on, but next week,
Oh,
next
yeah.
Saturday,
Oh, that's my
Belmont.
second
We'll
hit.
have
Yeah.
Belmont. I don't have the menu just yet from Chef Jason, but I'll have it ready for next week. But that'll feature some New York items on the
On the
menu as well.
buffet
On the
down
buffet
here.
down here. Yes, we're
In
not doing a
10
separate
Palms.
event, but we're going to
Corned beef.
10
So,
pounds.
and that'll be $75 per person.
Enhanced buffet Saturday, June 7th, Belmont at Saratoga. Going to be supposedly a showdown between sovereignty and journalism,
We hope.
and maybe throw a new couple of horses in the mix. I haven't read the latest, but I assume journalism was
Mhm.
leaning toward coming and
Yes.
having the rematch of the top two finishers from the Derby, and then some new also shooters thrown into
Yep.
the mix. Hill Road, a very talented colt from Chad Brown's barn. Grande, who was running down here, and I loved him, and then he got sidelined by a hoof injury. He'll be making a comeback.
Are they going to keep it 1.5 miles?
No, because of the configuration at
Yep.
Saratoga, it's 1.25 miles. So it's the same distance
So
as the
it's,
Derby.
so it's short. Okay.
A little bit shorter than the usual Test of Champions, 1.5 miles. Belmont is supposedly going to be reopening next year, I think. And then Pimlico is now undergoing its refurbishment. So the Preakness will be run at different tracks. And I don't know the whole configuration of that, but I'm just excited about next week.
Yes.
Saturday, if people want to come, how do they get their
That
reservations?
you could go on open table, or really you could just show up on that particular day. We're not
Really?
sold out. Belmont's usually the slower of the three, unfortunately,
Okay.
due to no triple crown.
Triple Crown.
Hopefully that'll change within horse racing. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
throw it out there. It'd be nice to push Preakness back a week and then push Belmont back a week. But
Do you think just
Yeah.
a week would do? Because we've
Yeah.
talked a lot about that. Okay.
I think you need 3 weeks between the races.
I think.
And we've pushed for it. Actually, it's mostly in Naira's.
Oh,
plate.
you actually have.
Yes, we've
And
asked.
now
you
that
know,
it's on
and-
two different networks, it complicates things because
Yes.
Fox has the rights to the Belmont.
Yeah, but wouldn't they
while
all?
NBC.
Yeah, but you
Correct.
still all want the best.
You'd think you want the best
Combatants.
ratings and the best, possibility of a triple
Yeah.
crown in this day and age. And I always said, Bobby Flay, I actually saw talking about a food guy, and he's into the game heavily. He has a
owns
horse
horses,
named Crudo. That's a talented 3-year-old that
Yeah.
won a big stakes race, I think, on Preakness Day.
Yeah.
But he was interviewed on NBC, and he was saying that he's of the belief that, like me, it should be spread out. And he says, make it simple. First Saturday in May is the Kentucky Derby. First Saturday in June is the Preakness. First Saturday in July is the Belmont, or make it on July 4th if you want to
Yeah.
tie it into a holiday or
Yeah.
something like that. It seems like it makes a lot of sense
did.
to me.
That makes a lot of
and
sense.
when you mentioned the distance for this year's races, they were talking about one of the things that Naira pushes back on. He goes, "Oh, we've always done the second Saturday and or the first Saturday, whatever. We always done 3 weeks
Right.
after the Preakness. That's always our time to go. It's tradition." And then we were like, "Yeah, but it was always traditionally 1.5 miles. And this
Bingo.
year it's 1.25 miles. So
Bingo.
you're already breaking some traditions. Why can't you push it back a week?"
Exactly.
And it was always tradition that the Belmont was the last leg, not the first. But then COVID comes along and
Yeah, and
everything
it was
got
the
scuttled
first.
in 2020.
You
So
move stuff all around. When you have
tradition-
to.
It would
Get
just
out of
be
here.
it would just be good for horse racing overall.
Yeah.
to
You
bring
want
back the
traditions to
triple
play it
crown.
at run at Belmont and where you're running. There are
Good.
traditions to run at Pimlico where you're running. Like
Yes.
the tradition's there until it's not. I mean, that's
good
life.
for the
right?
horses, good
Yeah.
for the fans, good for everybody.
Good for
but
everybody.
So-
Everyone.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
like we've said a lot in Tallahassee and Washington, D.C., common sense has no lobbyist. So
No.
sometimes
Yeah.
all
Honestly,
their
that's actually
own
true.
interests just
Yeah.
dig in. It's a little bit frustrating. All right. Besides the Belmont next Saturday, where you're going to get the enhanced
Oh, and then the
buffet
week
here coming-
after.
Week after Father's
Father's
Day.
Day.
What's going on
So
Father's Day?
Father's
here, Father's
Day,
Day.
it'll be usually a very busy day here. We will do a Sunday brunch buffet for $85.
Okay.
That will feature a barbecue station. So we'll have all barbecue favorites and brisket and ribs and all the father's favorites. So, instead of grilling at your house, you have here.
And you got some treats for dads.
We do. So instead of the normal Sunday brunches, we usually have a mimosa. Historically, we'd always allowed the fathers to trade out for a draft beer. This year, where they can also opportunity trade out for an Old Forester Old Fashioned.
Nice.
Applause to that, because everybody who has any taste will always go
The Old
for an
Forester.
old-fashioned.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this. Is it only for dads that get best bonus, and do they have to show a picture of their kid? And what about ultrasounds? Does that count? Expected fathers? Is that good
It'll
enough?
come with every buffet purchase.
Okay.
It's $85.
There we go.
I mean, I've always been the type of person, like, I know that the costs are going up for everything, for food and everything. All costs are going up.
Yeah.
And we could very, very easily say, yes, this used to be a $75 buffet, but now it's an $85 buffet because eggs. Because of this. I don't
prices.
I don't like doing that. I mean, that is part of the reason, obviously. But if ever there's a price increase on my end, I always like to put at least added value. So by adding in the opportunity of doing an old fashioned and making sure the chef is still doing the enhancements of the barbecue stations and stuff, because I mean, honestly, we already get a couple of emails saying, hey, listen, I came last year and it was $75 and this year it's $85. What's different, for the price? What's it different from a normal Sunday when it's 55?
Yeah.
So we like to explain that, there's added value both on, some of it is the holiday, and some of it is price increase. But of course, we like to do the added value of having an old fashioned and, we'll do it. We're going to do a nice balloon wall like we do for moms, except we'll do dad, obviously. So it'll be a great photo opportunity for the families. And, it'll be a great day here. We usually do about 700 covers on Father's Day.
Wow.
So
Special day for a special occasion.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's nice to have these enhancements.
Yep.
All right. That's, again, Sunday, June 15th. And then
when's the next Taste of the Track?
That'll come in the last Saturday of July.
Okay.
Cool.
Right around, we're timing the Taste of the Tracks for the summertime right around the National Liquor Days, I guess you could say. Like National Tequila Day, I believe, is the 25th.
Nice.
Rum Day is around the 15th, but we're going to do it a week later. And then Bourbon Month is the month of September. So we'll do the last Saturday. We're going to try and keep it to the last Saturdays of each month so people are aware of when it is. And
on a rhythm
gives
and a
us,
schedule.
it gives rhythm, and it gives us a 4-week gap in between
Yep.
the events, time to promote
like
it.
the Triple Crown races should be.
Should be.
4-week gaps.
Exactly. So the
And-
next one will be tacos and tequila, and I think the 26th, whatever the last Saturday is in July.
Nice. Very good. All right, Joe. Job well done,
Good luck
as
to you
usual.
Thank
We
you.
have one more break, right?
We do.
I've lost count.
Yes.
Job well done.
Job
it
well
was
done,
terrific.
sir.
It was terrific.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but go Knicks, because I do want to see a game 7.
I do. I mean,
And
Me too.
And
You know.
and you know what? Not only do I made an apology to the people of Edmonton because I didn't realize they had such a fine dining restaurant as that place.
They have fine
Bernadette's.
dining in New York.
Well, no, and
Oh,
the thing was, I was
Lord.
saying Oklahoma
Yeah.
City is also going to be like a terrible matchup. Like Indianapolis is known for a jug of milk and a shrimp cocktail at St. Elmo's, and because Indianapolis has the world's finest shrimp farms, and it makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
And then I was ragging on Oklahoma City and saying all they have is like I don't know what it is. It's like also a jug of crude oil and some
steers.
deer.
I don't know. I said chest pie. It's like saltines and
Oh,
dust that they bake. It was a Depression era staple. But lo and behold, I found something this morning that Southern Living magazine just came out with a list of their top 25 restaurants in the South. And here's the weird part. I never considered Oklahoma City or Oklahoma part of the South.
South, yeah.
But apparently the fine folks at that magazine do, because not only did they include our friends Jeremy and Cynthia Berman at Oceano Kitchen up in Lake Worth now. I don't know if you ever been there. That's a great place. They included that. But they also included a place in Oklahoma City called Perla Mesta. And I had no idea that Oklahoma City had any kind of fine dining establishment. So it just goes to show.
You better be careful of how you pose this out, because
well, if there's anybody from Oklahoma that's down here,
I was going to mention that to you if you'd be interested in ever having her on the show on Fridays. Samantha Perry.
Yeah, we had her on before. She's great.
Is she from Oklahoma
She's
City?
from Oklahoma City.
Oh, next Friday would be cool.
She is a diehard Thunder fan.
Oh,
She
we will
should be
get
their
her
fan.
on here.
Yeah,
If she can
Samantha
come on next
Perry.
Friday, that would be great, because
Okay.
the Thunder
Because
are licking their chops.
I didn't mean
Yeah.
to besmirch the fine reputation
And she can talk,
culinary or
if she's
otherwise
from there,
of
she can talk about the food.
Oklahoma
Honestly,
She can
City.
talk about the food. She is
we need
from
help
there. She actually, believe it or not, I think got in a little bit of trouble with Dave Joseph in some court because she had when she has her laptop up there, she had an OKC Thunder sticker on the
Which is-
laptop. She was told,
that's bad.
It has to keep clean. There's no stickers and everything else
But-
like that.
But when it
she's
comes to the
diehard
food
Thunder.
scene of Oklahoma and Oklahoma City, like,
Yeah.
I was a sports writer, and I don't think I went to Tulsa one time. I said, I don't think you could drop somebody in the middle of Tulsa or Oklahoma City, and they wouldn't be able to tell it apart. Number one.
Oh my God.
And number two, okay, I've been running the Let's Eat South Florida food group for going on 7 years now. Not once has there been a post looking for real, authentic Oklahoma City cuisine, as opposed to the real, authentic New York pizza
Right.
slash bagel slash Chinese
Well,
food.
I wouldn't
Oklahoma's
even
not
know.
a place you'd go to for vacation.
I
No.
don't-
Yeah, but you
I
figure they got to have at least a solid steakhouse.
Yeah,
and
I would think
at least some.
beef.
I'm sure some Italian moved there at some way, shape, or form and open up a restaurant.
Well, if we can get Samantha, because we've been degrading Oklahoma City, if she could stand up for her city, that would be huge.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'll let
Maybe
her know.
next Friday. That'd
they
be
got
cool.
a pretty
I'll let
good
them know.
basketball team.
Yeah.
I will give them that.
Pretty good.
They're
Yeah.
really good. Yeah.
Freaking scary.
So they're good, but I don't know if anybody would want to
Not
spend
about
any
the
amount
food,
of
yeah.
time
Yeah.
eating or otherwise in Oklahoma City.
I have found these little gems in Oklahoma or wherever they
Nebraska,
make-
you guys like to love
Nebraska.
Omaha, yeah.
you
You've
find
gone
these,
to Oklahoma? Like, have you been on
Well,
the
he's been
lam
around
a
the
couple of
country.
times,
Well, no,
or-
he was
you
with
were
Ultimate
right.
Software.
A
He was
sports
traveling,
guy with the Hurricanes, and
but also with
went-
Ultimate, he was traveling the country doing
Yeah.
speeches. So he's probably been to a lot of the smaller cities,
Yeah.
something
and
like
they're finding the gem of the restaurants
is
is-
fun.
is
It's
fun
Italian,
to
yeah,
It's
do.
fun. It's
Yeah.
fun. I usually do like the Eater 38 or Thrill List. I don't even
Yeah.
know if Oklahoma City has one of those.
Right.
but-
I don't think
Oh man,
See, Joe's
oh
joining in.
man, you guys are dead.
Indianapolis might, but the list is only 3.
Yeah, exactly.
St.
Yeah.
Elmo's
And White
Yeah.
Castle's
White
on the
Castle.
list.
Yeah.
And the St. Elmo deal.
Yeah.
They don't have shrimp farms, but there's something about the cocktail
The
sauce.
sauce is great, but I can make a cocktail sauce that's
Yeah.
good. You
That-
just
wait
that-
in line for
I
an hour for
agree.
cocktail
I
sauce is
agree,
crazy, man.
but now it's known for.
Well,
You go there for that.
Yeah,
Yes,
I saw
well,
the
for
set
sure.
of the TNT guys, the NBA on TNT. They brought out the shrimp cocktail from St. Elmo's to Berkeley, and
Yeah.
he's like eating it like.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I get riled up. It's not like eating a Dungeness crab in San Francisco
Exactly.
or
I
a stone
agree.
crab down
I
here.
agree.
Joe's, yeah,
It's a
exactly.
shrimp
Or here.
farmed from the Gulf of Mexico or something that they
That's
fly
been
up.
frozen.
The best shrimp that
there's
FedEx
no-
could deliver.
there's
So
no-
fantastic. All right, Joe.
Good luck to your Knicks.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
contributions. Thank you
Thanks,
for the
Joe.
golden nugget about Samantha Perry. We're
Yeah.
gonna try to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
on
If we can get her on
Absolutely.
next Friday,
Yeah,
that'd be
talk
great.
to Dave. Get around. I'll text her too.
So
Yeah.
wait, so I guess Oklahoma City versus the Knicks would be an interesting
Yeah.
matchup.
Oh no, yeah.
Food wise, it's a total romp in terms of New York.
Yeah, of
but
course.
we shall see.
But,
All right.
yeah.
Best of luck to the Knicks. Thank you for everything as usual.
Yep.
And let's take our third and final break before we call it a week here
Yep.
on this edition of the Lunchbox.
Hey, Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Guess who's back and better than ever? Juan's. For the best in classic old school Chinese cuisine, a family-run South Florida favorite since 1966. It's at 664 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Chef Alex is carrying on the family tradition that started 4 generations ago. It used to be known as Christina Wan's Mandarin House, and you're going to love it as Wan's. They've got all your favorites: wonton soup, spare ribs, egg rolls, dumplings, Peking duck, and more. Combo lunch specials daily and takeout and delivery. For more information, go to their Instagram page at wans.fl. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30, except Sunday. Go to When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you got to check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the new river. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Veuve Champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey district, just south of the Science Museum. For reservations and all right. Thanks to Joe Beja, as usual. Thank you to Tony Segreto. Thanks to Jeff DeFoto Forrest. We're going to get out of here. One topic I wanted to get to, but we'll save it for another day, is my birthday is coming up this month, and I always get an ice cream cake. And I saw on the Let's Eat group this morning, my friend Dan Cook, former BSO guy, he was touting the virtues of Kilwins has a ice cream cake.
Ice cream
no
cake.
way.
And I didn't know.
That's got to be
Now
impressive.
they're pricey. He says the
gotta
bigger
be
one
insane.
goes for $62.
Oh, Jesus.
But I don't like
I mean, it's got to be amazing.
it has a layer of like brownie actual cake in it. And
Oh,
I
geez.
don't like ice cream cake that has cake. I like ice cream cake
The
like
crumbles.
Carvel that has the crunchies.
The crunchies are my favorite part of it.
So
for
I
everything.
told him, I said, Dan, I love you. I'd be willing to try this, but
Yeah, that's not my birthday
Fudgy the
cake.
Whale, my birthday falls always near Father's Day. It's on June 17th.
Yeah.
So I always get a twofer. I get a Fudgy the Whale,
Yeah.
which is to a whale of a dad. But
Yes.
I always have Fudgy the Whale for both Father's Day and my birthday. And Fudgy is my ride or die. I am
Yeah.
going down in flames. I love Fudgy the Whale.
Oh no, a
I
Carvel
love
ice cream
Carvel
cake
ice
is
cream
the
cakes when
best
it's
ice
done
cream cake.
right.
It
and
just is.
made fresh, not in the frozen.
See, that's the problem. Is I
section
haven't
of
had
Publix.
one that's not from that frozen section in a long time.
You
Yeah,
have to
me
go-
either.
They
Me
brought
either.
one for a birthday of mine, and it was solid, but it wasn't what I remember. And I
Let
think
me-
it's because it's been
Let
sitting
me
in
give
that
you
freaking
a
freezer
pro
case.
tip. Okay, so there's a Carvel on the corner of like Hiatus Road and 595.
Well, there's also one by my parents off of Commercial. I think there's one.
I'm giving a plug
in
for this particular one
Tamarack,
because I
yeah.
find their ice cream really
Sunrise.
creamy and fresh. The one
Okay.
that's in Davie, it's right
Hiatus,
next to
595,
CJ
okay.
Black's.
Okay, yeah,
and
yeah,
then-
yeah.
And it was right around the corner from my daughter's school.
Yeah.
And they were nice enough to sponsor my daughter's cheerleading squad. She would go
It's
in there.
on hiatus and
and-
what?
595. It's not far from you.
Hiatus and State Road 84.
You have any idea where
There's
CJ
a Winn-
Black's is?
Winn
You probably
Dixie
passed CJ
shopping
Black's.
center.
Oh yeah.
So the Carvel in there, they make the ice cream cakes fresh every other
See,
day.
that's big.
And right before Father's Day, you go in there and they got all the different size fudgies. And that's it. I love going in there and getting a nice big fudgy for both fathers and my birthday. I will try the Kilwins cake. We can do a taste
I'm
test.
sure it's fantastic, but there's something about, I don't know, the Carvel ice cream cake is just.
I love it, especially when
You were
it's
brought up.
great.
We were brought up on Carvel. and
Yeah.
it's-
It's like
that's
nostalgia for sure.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for today. Cookie Puss has its fans too, but I'm
I've never had
I'm a
Cookie
fudgy guy. Let's
Yeah.
face it. I am a fudgy guy.
Puss. That's an understatement.
All right. Have a great weekend, everybody, and be safe no matter what you're doing. Get ready for hurricane season, although I don't think any storms are approaching just
Usually
quite
later,
yet.
Yeah,
And yeah, as Tony Segredo says, hunker down when you need to.
hunker
Yes.
down, but stay safe and listen to the TV or listen to the radio.
Right, but we're not there yet.
No.
We got a ways to go. That's it, everybody. Enjoy every sandwich.